Welcome to Smells Like Potential, the rewatch podcast you didn't know you needed. Rebecca comes clean with Ted and apologizes to Higgins. Roy faces a difficult decision for his career. Beard snaps over possible relegation and wins back Jane.
Yes, and it's we're calling this episode "Know Thyself" because the episode covers so much emotional territory for so
Mhm,
many of our main characters. They have to decide what kind of person do they want to be. We
mhm.
see Keely stand up to her friend Rebecca, and which is not easy to do. We see Leslie have to decide: is he going to stand up for himself and not go back as an employee and work for Rebecca, or is he going to go back because she has herself changed? We see Beard really struggling. He has to stand up to his best friend, his coach in Ted, and put his foot down about what's best for the team and the players on the team. We see Roy struggling with his place in his career and potentially being benched because of his poor performance, likely due to his aging. And is he in a position where he's going to have to consider a change, maybe even playing in America? And Ted, he's got his back, but how does he do that and do what's best for the team at the same time? And of course the big one, Rebecca, which she has to decide what kind of person does she want to be? Does she really want to let revenge control her, or does she want to do what's right for the team and the people that she now cares for? So it's a big, tough, emotional episode. So we called it Know Thyself, which is something Ted says, quoting Socrates.
Right. For me, it was Beard getting really riled up about relegation and pulling May into this conversation that kind of
Yes.
foreshadows the next episode.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just for him to get that upset and tell Ted off. It's something we haven't seen before. These two are tight by each other's side, finishing each other's sentences, knowing all of each other's jokes. And in fact, he wouldn't even participate in a joke later in this episode. So it's
What was the joke?
the joke. Ted said, I thought of this joke in the shower today. What does a British owl say? And Coach Beard won't respond. And then Nate won't respond. And they're giving him the cold shoulder,
That's
which
right. Do I get a medium drink with that cold shoulder and silent treatment combo?
exactly. And what's great about this writing staff of this TV show is the fact that they don't forget that. They remember everything. And so that joke is paid off 6 episodes later in another season. We'll hear about that more. Here's another place where they're clearly thinking. In the very opening, when Roy is in the treatment room, Danny comes in to work out a little bit or cool down, I think. And he's singing. He's got headphones in and he's singing a song in Spanish. And I don't speak Spanish well enough to catch it, but I thought I recognized a couple of words. So I looked it up. And he's singing the lyrics to the Ted Lasso theme song by Mumford and
I
Sons.
did not catch that because I watched with closed captioning on, and they didn't close caption what Danny was singing.
No, no. So I had to literally take the lyrics and paste them in to translate and then check it against a few other sources. And they said, yeah, indeed. He sings, You know I'm yours if you remember that you're mine in Spanish. Those are the actual lyrics right before you get to the and prove them wrong again part. And because, yeah, that might be all you get. And he actually goes into the yeah as they start the yeah in the actual song, which is kind of cool for a cold open.
And now it's my turn to learn something new. This is why I keep watching it. There's something new every single time. That's
Absolutely.
amazing. Well, and Roy was in this trash can during this scene, icing
Yeah.
his whole body, and I thought it was funny, we talked about Sesame Street yesterday, and Ted walks in, he's like, "Look at you in there like a brunette Oscar the Grouch."
It's like they're listening to our podcast.
It was really fun.
Another fun little fact is this is the first episode in the series where we don't go black for the credits. The credits usually play over
Mhm.
black, but this time the credits play over the locker room scene. After Ted leaves, the credits roll, and everybody just keeps moving around, getting ready to play the game. And Roy's putting on his shoes. As it happens, he's the last one left in the locker room. So he is able to get up and be alone in the locker room when he's made this decision that he's going to do what's right for the team and not play, not start the game. And he walks over and touches the believe sign, which is something the entire team will eventually do. But Roy starts it. which I think is something. I mean, certainly Ted started it a few episodes ago where he touches it. He's like, "Hey, everybody, listen to me. I want you to listen to me." And then he doesn't say anything. He just touches the believe sign. And that's his modeling. And Roy is the first follower, right? So Ted's the leader. I think a fantastic little touch at this point in the season.
It was really moving. Something else I think I caught, and I can't confirm exactly. Roy has unique handshakes for everyone on the team. I was watching the interactions, and I don't think they all did the same handshake.
That sounds like something that the writers would do, or at least Brett
Mhm.
Goldstein. Yeah,
Right?
that
And if you know, you know.
right.
So I might have to go back and watch it again, but I do feel like everyone was very unique. So Roy got to check in with his emotions a little bit, letting everyone walk out of the locker room and touching the sign. And so this brings me to Phoebe. Roy is struggling, and Keeley calls Phoebe over. And there were two lines that were said in this episode. The first one is that little girls are mysterious and silly and powerful. And that transitions to teenage girls are like mysterious and dark and dangerous. So
Yeah, accurate. That's both accurate. That
right.
I can say as a father or a daughter.
Stop trying to figure them out. So then we get to see Phoebe being silly and powerful, listening to Zeppelin, and she's asked to describe her uncle. And I thought that was so moving for Roy to get a different perspective. The only person that matters how you look at yourself is you,
Yep.
knowing thyself, right? And Phoebe helps him with that transition. So even though she's 6 years old, she has so much sway over him, and you could just see the love between them. Their
Absolutely.
relationship is so cute.
Yeah, it's powerful and it's big enough for Roy to mention it to Ted later on in the episode. We'll talk about it in a bit. It also shows that Keely is a natural storyteller, and we see her grow as a PR agent later in the seasons. Clearly, she has those skills. She knows how to craft a story. What matters here is the story Roy tells himself. And to help him with that, as you said, she gives him a different perspective. Rebecca also calls Higgins playful and silly towards the end of this episode. So we hear those phrases sort of mixed and mingled throughout after Ted gives him Trent's daughter's biscuits. And I'm not sure whether they are or not. I'm still confused with Ted going back and forth on that. I think we're meant to believe that they want his daughter because of the decoration on them. And Ted will just go and somehow figure out another pair for her set of biscuits.
They look very different from Rebecca's box.
Yes.
Very plain, no sprinkles, and then you get pink frosting and sprinkles. There were some very, very intense moments in Rebecca's office in this episode,
Oh yeah.
and we are going to look at the power of forgiveness. So, Rupert comes charging in, and the amount of cruelty and gloating that he shows in this episode forces Rebecca to look in the mirror at herself. He took delight in hurting her, telling her that he was going to have a kid with Bex
Yeah.
with this pregnancy announcement. And I wanted to reach through the screen and just hug her. That was one of the most awful things that we had to witness in this episode
Yeah.
is the way Rupert treats her.
And he doesn't really try to hide it well. He even says, I just didn't want to have a baby with, well, I just didn't want to have a baby then. Like he rephrases it as though he's trying to soften it, but it's too late. It's like you almost said the word. You just stopped one word short.
Right?
And it's clearly the similar thing where he even does an aside that he's been trying to hire Higgins out from under Rebecca because he says maybe now he'll finally accept my offer. We don't know what offer. We don't know what he's building. I think
What is
there's
he cooking in the background?
yeah,
Yep.
I think we might see it in seasons 2 and 3, and that maybe is what he's talking about. But could it be something, some other scheme? You never know. Anything to hurt her might be what his motivation is. And I think you're right. It's putting up a mirror to Rebecca, and she cannot stand what she's seeing.
Right. So this walks her toward taking full accountability for her actions. And her apologies are really sincere. They are not shallow apologies. She just doesn't go, I'm sorry. She outlines all of the wrongs that she did in order for the person that she's talking to fully see her and to fully say, I forgive you, or I'm not okay with this. And another great model from these writers on how to take accountability and how
Mhm.
to truly and deeply apologize when you've wronged somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ted does forgive her. He stands up, he looks her in the eyes, he takes a moment, he considers it, and he says, I forgive you. Then she's sort of shocked, taken aback. She could not believe that was the first thing he would say. He didn't yell at her, he didn't scream at her. How dare you? I'm clear across the world for you. None of that. He doesn't go there. He takes a moment, and I'm thinking in his head, he's being curious. And he's like, why would she do all these things? Well, she just told me it was because of Rupert. She wanted to hurt Rupert. And so he processed that very quickly. He was curious, not judgmental. And then he realized, why would she want to hurt Rupert? And how would this do that? Oh, the team. Oh, the divorce. Okay. And then he comes to that conclusion and he says, divorce is hard. It makes you do crazy things. Then in self deprecation, he sort of turns it on himself. And he says, look, I'm in London coaching soccer. So he's able to flip it very quickly and make her laugh moments after that very intense scene because, and she calls it out. She says, I think we're not just talking about me anymore. And he says, I forget his exact words in that moment, but he essentially acknowledged,
Maybe, maybe not.
yeah, maybe, maybe not. He equivocates.
How do I know these lines?
You do. It's because you know all the references. And speaking of references, there were many, many 90s references. You called out most of these. Oh, Snap is heard. I'm Audi 5000 was heard. All Good in the Hood. There's a reference to Fresh Prince and Carlton. And even after they changed Aunt Viv's, he still watched the show because he could never give up Carlton.
He
And
took a moment to just sit right there.
yeah, okay. He did the Carlton. He actually did the dance, and his upstairs neighbor was upset. I have a little fun
Amazing
fact here.
actor. Yes.
Amazing actor. He's a comedic genius and he's a good dancer. We saw him on Dancing with the Stars, even. But
Right?
fun fact in the last century, in the late 1900s, I was in a youth choir and they pulled in all these celebrity kids, Alfonso and a number of other ones. Melissa Milano was in it and Drew Barrymore was in it and all these celebrities that were in it. So I was in a choir with Alfonso Ribeiro and we had a music video and an album, and the album actually got nominated for an Emmy. We didn't win. Otherwise,
Aw.
otherwise we would say from the Emmy-winning hosts, we could say that you and I are an Emmy-winning host before every episode, but we don't do that obviously because I was Emmy nominated. It's just Emmy nominated for the record.
I love it. We should add that to our tagline.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think we don't have to mention that it was from 1983.
Well, I
So,
have a not so fun fact. Since you have
oh
a fun fact, I have a not so fun fact. So Ted has been drinking and he walks out of the pub and almost gets hit by a car because as an American, he is looking left.
yeah, because we're
I've
always
done that.
taught to look left.
I've done that. I was in Wimbledon. I was looking left and I stepped in front of a bus. Yeah, a local yanked me by my backpack and pulled me off the street. Oops.
Yeah.
So, I was sober, and I still did it.
It's also a throwback because Beard had done that for him in a previous episode, but he and Beard had just gotten into an argument, so Beard left. He said, I don't want to work with someone as selfish as that, and took off, stood up to him. So it's really nice that they gave Ted someone else to be his guardian angel that knows to look right and holds Ted back from getting hit.
Absolutely, thank you, Roy.
The two of them then head to Ted's apartment and they have a heart to heart. Roy apologizes as such as he does about yelling at him. And Ted just lets him talk. Ted does a really good job of just listening here. At one point, Roy says, I'm usually pretty good about holding in my anger. Ted nearly loses it, but looks at him and says, oh, is that right? And Roy doesn't back down. He goes, yeah, essentially telling him, you have no idea how angry I am all the time. This is me holding back my anger. Ted offers him some of the aforementioned peanut butter that he says he always leaves out. True to form, he's got it and he's sticking his finger in it and he's eating it and he offers it to Roy. Roy says, no, no thanks. Ted says, oh, do you have a nut allergy? And Roy says, very quickly, I have a finger allergy. And I think I know someone else that would decline that invitation.
There is no way I'm eating out of that jar.
Right. Yeah. I think you and many people, I think that's a wise choice. We don't know where that finger's been.
No, and it's open out on the counter,
Yeah. Yeah.
exposed to air germs.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta get away from this topic. So, anyway, the season 4 suggestion box, we have a submission. This one comes from one of our listeners, Dre Castro. Joy says, I'm very excited about Ted's new journey. I believe that something very magical can happen when the right males coaches women. Bottom line, not all men can coach women, but I know Ted can. So I'm super excited to see Ted once again be magical.
I love that. And I love the reference to magical. So, yay for our listeners. Thank you. And keep sending in your season 4 suggestions. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you tomorrow for our reaction to season 1, episode 10, the last of the season.
Wow.
It's called The Hope That Kills You. And I get the outro quote this time. I think that if you care about someone and you got a little love in your heart, there ain't nothing you can't get through together.